Sorry guys, live does not have a pause button and I got tired of holding this iPad. Okay, so I was at giving the paper, having grown woman tears, looking around, no one else is experiencing, no one is reacting the way I'm reacting. So I feel a little bit self-conscious because I'm like, oh, why am I being so But you know, I know what's going on. Like I understand this is part of the healing and the process, and I'm sorry for the light sparkles. I can't do nothing about it. The light rays. Okay, let me, if I turn this way. Oh, there it is. Less light rays. Okay, so now we're instructed to go back to the main hall, or the main tent, as you will, and go have lunch, come back, really think about what you want to do. So they're like, come back at 2 o'clock. It's like, so I have lunch, I walk around, just concentrating on things of what I want. And now it's time for my spiritual intervention. All right. So it's 2 o'clock. We go back to the main hall. We sit quietly, the same thing. There's really no further instruction on like what you can expect. It's just wait here. John of God is going to have the entities look inside of you and they're going to repair whatever it is and they feel that needs mending. And this is not about what you want, but this is about what you need. Okay. So that's great advice. And so I go ahead and I get back in line for my spiritual intervention. And I'm noticing a couple of things here. As I was walking around and I was listening to everybody have their conversations, because I went by myself, so I didn't talk to anybody. I'm just noticing, like, I don't know. This one woman, she said that she wasn't going to get her spiritual intervention. She didn't get her spiritual intervention because she didn't want to have to let go of Pepper. I was just like, my mind was just like, wow. We have to make sacrifices in our life for the greatest good of ourselves. And that's always the case. In order to grow, you have to let something go. Like, you have to let go of things that hold you back if you want to grow at all. All right. So, I'm back in the room. And there's people who are like rushing to get into the line to go see John of God. He's going to attend to every single person that came. But there's people like rushing, almost kind of like pushing other people out of the way. Like, if, you know, there was a limit to how many people he was going to see that day. Like, I don't know. Like, into our group, whoever wanted to rush, if they wanted to just run in front of me, I just let them, because I'm gonna go see him, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to just take it easy. This is something that I feel like you would want to take easy. So, I'm in line. They say we gotta wait 15 minutes. So in the line, I'm just thinking about what I want. I get into now we're back in the room. This time, John of God is not in the room. Okay? So this is not like the first time where we went in front of him to see face, but you can still kind of feel the pressures and like the poking. It was like that. Okay? And that was it. That was it for that moment. Wait, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it. If I didn't mention this, I'll mention it. And in my third eye, I saw a man. And I wish I would have brought his picture with me today, and I was going and I didn't. I saw a man. It was clear as day, and I saw this man. I'm like, whoa, who's that man? And I didn't think anything of it, because I see a lot of things all the time. So it's kind of like, okay, maybe it was just one of those things that I just will know in the late future. Okay, so I leave, and we go to like a debriefing about what you should be doing after your surgery, and they're very adamant. They're like, no direct sunlight, no alcohol, no sex for 40 days. 40 days of no sex. That includes sex with you. No sex with you. None. No spices, no black pepper, pretty much no pepper of any kind. What they were avoiding was basically raising your body temperature. So everything, and no exercise. I don't know if I mentioned that, but no exercise. So anything that is going to raise your body temperature will be a no-go. And the exercise, heavy lift, no law, it's because sutures in your body. And this is what she's explaining. And mind you, I just came out of a room where I had this really cool experience. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel like I got, sutures. Like, what do you guys mean? I felt some pressure, but that was it. Okay. Then she goes, you're protected until you get home. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that. And mind you, I feel like a healthy dose of skepticism is great. I don't follow. Okay. So, I don't know where I left off at. I felt sutures in places I didn't even know I had gotten surgery. And as I started to walk into the house, into the B&B, I felt pain in my body. Not an immense pain, but I felt discomfort. And I said, you know what? There's something happening here. It's not how I've seen people review John of God, and I've read a lot about him. And, he doesn't help. He doesn't work. This is a placebo effect. This is wishful thinking. This is not a placebo effect. Okay. A placebo effect is you take something, you take the medicine, in this case, John of God is healing, right? Positive thinking mindset. Then you go forward, feeling better, and you are relieved of your symptoms. That's not what happened. I went with an open mind, but then detached without expectation. And then these things were occurring to me either way. So when I get to the house, it's like 5:30 now. I fell asleep at 6 p.m. that night. Okay, 6:30, the latest. I was completely knocked out. Drank my water, so exhausted, I fell asleep. I woke up around 1:30 in the morning because, and this is the part that will probably freak you out, because of the pain, the amount of pain I was in was not my pain from my illness or my conditions. It was surgery pain. I literally said out loud jokingly, where's my morphine nurse? And I laughed about it because the chest pain, and I was able to distinguish all the placements of the sutures. And I don't want to go into where, because, all of the places, because I feel like, we don't have to. And it was just several places, and according to the hostess, I don't remember her name, I think her name was Julia, you can have up to 9 surgeries at any given time, but I had already 2 surgeries before I even went to John of God, because when I was preparing, they were already working with me and through me. Okay, so I physically felt pain. It woke me up out of my sleep, and I want you to understand this part, because a placebo effect is not going to wake you up out of your sleep to say, hey, there's pain here. A placebo effect, when you wake up, you're going to feel great, right? So the next morning comes, and and it was a full moon night too. It was great. And the next morning comes, and I wake up and I do a stretch. Boop! You wake up, you stretch, and I'm like, oh, my shoulder, my sutures. I could feel the pull again. I could feel them, and I'm like, oh, no stretching. I immediately did that. So my conscious self doesn't remember that I had a surgery, but my subconscious also didn't remember, probably. I don't know. But my body said, hey, you have surgery. And that's when my brain went, that hurts. So then I stopped stretching. I went to go brush my hair. Got the hairbrush. I started at the bottom. Went to go brush the top of my hair, and I screamed. Guys, I screamed. When I put the hairbrush on my hair, I felt like I was pulling at stitches. Facts. I am not exaggerating this. I'm not making this up. I have no reason to